Hey guys, it's Hazzy. I know it's been a while, but I'm back. Um, sorry about that. Still trying to figure out everything, all this technical stuff. But anyway, if you are new here, welcome to the Hazzy and Bun Bun channel. If you are not, welcome back. This is a very new channel, and to be honest with you, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I want to talk about on here. There are a few other stories that I definitely want to talk about with you guys. As far as stuff that I've done in my past that has kind of shaped the way I think now, and how I'm going to change the way I live in the future. I know it sounds very complicated, but it's not. I definitely want to travel again at some point, and I can't at the moment, so I'm just kind of making the most of working on me. I've been going on a healing and self-love journey for probably definitely well over a year now. I got involved with someone for a second time, and he really showed me that I needed to do a lot of healing within myself so that I didn't continue to attract people like that, people that are broken. And I debated for a while, I debated for a long time as to whether I wanted to talk about this story that I went through, this experience that I went through with this guy. And I decided that for my own self, for my own healing journey, I felt like it would be important for me to tell my story, not only so that my voice can be heard, but in the hopes that other people can maybe relate, and maybe they can maybe it can help them find their own strength to get away from somebody that's not good for you, whether it be a narcissist or any other kind of toxic person that is hurting you and will continue to do so because they don't care. That's just how they are. So, to preface this video, I want to let you guys know this is not, I'm not putting it out here to bash this person. Although what he did end up doing to me over and over again was abusive. I'm only going to tell you his first name. Who he is not a secret. He has his own YouTube channel. We built a tiny home together at one point back in 2020. He has pictures and videos of that. I'm not going to send you guys to his YouTube channel. But this is an ex of mine that I had originally met back in 2008. And we had a brief but intense relationship then. And it ended so badly that I cut him out of my life for what ended up being 12 years. I came across an old a DVD that he had made. He always had his camera. He was always filming or taking pictures or whatever, which was kind of annoying at the time. But when you look back and you have, you still have the memories, because sometimes that's all you have left of someone. It's nice to have those. Not that I look at them anymore, but at the time I came across this DVD that he'd made, and it had videos and things from what he called Road Trip 2008, which was, it was him and I, his name is Jay. It was him and I, and three other guys. Two of them were his roommates. So there was Rihan, who was Cameron's cousin. Cameron was his roommate, and they were from Pakistan. And then Kevon was from Trinidad. So we were quite the international group. But yeah, I loved it. It was fun. It was crazy, but it was a lot of fun, So I came across this DVD, and there were videos on there from that. And I remember thinking to myself, he definitely had his issues as a person, to put it mildly. But I wondered how he was, I wondered how he was doing. I always found him to be really funny when he's in a good mood, and everything's going well. He can be funny, he can be charming, that kind of thing. And I thought about it for a few days because the last time he came into my life, he really ended up being overall very bad for me and someone that I needed to protect myself from, um, and get away from. Not that there wasn't ever any like physical stuff, nothing like that. If I was scared for my safety like that, I definitely would not deal with anyone like that again. But there were just certain things that I'm not going to get into that happened that caused our relationship to end pretty badly. So anyway, so I came across this stuff and I thought, I wonder if he's doing any better. Now, I know that he is bipolar. He's been diagnosed bipolar, doesn't take any medication for it, thinks that he's fine. And he also is a narcissist. He's never actually been diagnosed, as far as I know, but he admits to being one. He very clearly is one. He has all of the textbook behaviors and, manipulations and everything, all that stuff. He pretty much does. So it was interesting what happened because I ended up finding him on Facebook because I hadn't thought about him in like literally 12 years. Found him on Facebook, looked him up. After a few days, I decided to get back in touch with him, which I did, and he was surprisingly happy to hear from me. The first things he started talking about seemed like lies, and I had dealt with a lot of that in 2008, so I got upset. But anyway, we moved past it. I decided to give him the benefit of the doubt and leave the past in the past. We did talk about it, and he apologized and whatnot. Anyway, so we met around this time, actually. It was around Easter in 2020, and we just instantly connected. Now I know what he was doing was the love bombing phase. We were talking all night on the phone. He was, buying me, sending me gifts, like special gifts, and it was like a whole like a whirlwind, and I thought, stupidly, I thought that, oh, like this is the guy that I always loved, but he's better now. He's healed now. He's not playing all these games. He's not doing any of this stuff with me. So long story short, I'm not going to really talk a lot about this part of it in this video because it's a whole other video. But I knew that I wanted to see him. He had unfortunately taken a pretty bad fall off, I don't know what it was, a mountain or a cliff or something, somewhere in Arizona, in Phoenix, Arizona, where he was living at the time. And I know that he did have to, he had a walker for a while. He had to build back to full strength. It definitely was a pretty devastating fall. So we had started talking kind of right after that happened. Anyway, so he, sorry about that. That just threw me off. So yeah, so, let me catch my train of thought again. Yeah, so we started talking and everything was like very intense and like moving pretty fast. And I knew that I wanted to see him again because I felt like we still had a really strong connection, which I wasn't expecting. I just kind of thought, oh, we'll have a conversation about the past and then maybe I can get closure on it. But I had really already gotten closure myself. I mean, it had been 12 years. I didn't really think of the guy anymore. You know what I mean? It was just one of those, like, you're somebody that I used to know kind of thing. So yeah, so anyway, long story short is, in early June, it was like June 2nd or 3rd, I want to say, he had bought me tickets and flew me out to Vegas. Now I'm in Maryland. I had never been to Vegas before. When we were there, there was some political stuff going on. There was some riots and everything. It was crazy. So we met up, and over the course of the time that I spent with him, which ended up being, it was supposed to be about a month to a month and a half, ended up being 3 months out there. We traveled for about a month of that. We got to see parts of Utah, Arizona, Wyoming, beautiful, beautiful places, just magnificent places. Again, that's a whole other video. We took a lot of dirt bike rides together and stuff like that. We almost died one night because we went too far and it was cold. Yeah, again, other topics for other videos, but it was pretty pretty crazy. So about a month into it, he decided to buy I almost called it a tiny home. It became a tiny home, a trailer, a Wells Cargo trailer, 12 by 6 by 8 was the size, and we converted it into a tiny home. And it took so much time and so much work that I ended up having to go back to Maryland. I actually was running an Airbnb at the time, and I had to have friends cover for me, and that was not the best idea, but that's such is life. But yeah, so I'm at the point now where it's been 3 years, 3 years since we reconnected, and I saw him mostly back in 2020, and then he changed. It seemed like he changed. We used to talk every day. We would talk on WhatsApp. We would send videos, voice messages, text messages, pictures, you name it. We did it. We were talking all the time. Even after the trip, which was very stressful and a lot went on, we still, stayed in good touch. He came to visit me that October around Halloween, stuff like that, a surprise visit. But the last time I saw him was in December 2021. And that's kind of a whole nother video too, if I want to even go through all that, which I probably don't. But I had spent some time in Florida, and I was heading back up north, and I knew that he was in a schoolie homestead in Georgia. And I said, if we want to talk, then this is your kind of last opportunity. I'm gonna be coming through. Let me know if you want to see me. And he actually did, and we got back in touch, and I ended up staying there for about a month, from Thanksgiving through to almost Christmas. And it was pretty eye-opening. There were some great moments, some fun moments, some special moments. We did karaoke one night. The owners, Brett and Renee, are wonderful people. It was a really, really chill place just to stay at, and I was fortunate that they let me stay for longer than I think basic stays, maybe like 3 days or something like that. Before they start charging you whatever. Now he was paying to stay there, but I was a guest, so it was a little bit different. But there's a rescue that was about 45 minutes away, an animal rescue that I got to do some volunteer work at, help with cleaning up and things like that. I got to groom some horses, cuddle some puppies. It was cool. I got to to help out, and that was awesome. But the way he treated me was not right. And I'm not going to go into the details of it in this video, and I might never do that, because there's just some stuff that it's just, too many details, like not even worth getting into, kind of thing. But people there could tell that I was genuine, and I was who I said I was, you know what I mean? And he was not. He was pretending to be someone else. And when I left hoping that from then on we would be able to get along better. But of course, as it is with people like that, what I've learned the hard way is it doesn't matter how good you are as a person. It doesn't matter how much love, affection, respect, caring, any of those good things. It doesn't matter how much of that you have in your heart for someone like that is broken, someone that people like that can't receive it. They can't receive the love for whatever reason, whether it's because of their own trauma, whether it's because they don't feel worthy. I don't know what it is. Obviously, these people, my ex, because honestly, his name isn't worth mentioning again, but um, I've told him time and time again that if you don't work on yourself, if you don't actually sit and go within and think about everything that hurt you, everything that damaged you from a young child. And I know he did go through some trauma, and I think lots of people did. I did too, but I guess I worked through it differently because I'm an empath. I consider myself a strong empath. Some people, it causes them to become narcissists. Now, at the end of the day, even though I know narcissism is a personality disorder and you can't get rid of it, like there's no getting rid of it, you know what I mean? They do know the difference between right and wrong. They know on some level, whether they admit to themselves or not, they know what they're doing is wrong. The way they're treating people is wrong. They know that. He knew, and he could recognize how good that I was to him. He even said, you treat me like gold, and I haven't had anyone else treat me that way. And for him to acknowledge that and still turn around and treat me like crap over and over and over again, it's just, it's kind of mind-blowing. It really is. I laugh because I'm in such disbelief. It's just, I will never be able to wrap my mind around it. I'm someone that what lights me up is connecting with people, really connecting with people, getting to know people, getting out there, meeting new people, having experiences, sharing experiences with people, doing different things, whatever, all of that stuff, like helping people if I can, all of that lights me up. But someone like that, someone like him, who is a self-admitted broken person. He's called himself that more than once, a broken man. Someone that is a poisonous creature, and he has said this about himself as well. When we were out in Utah, he said, well, I'm just a poisonous creature, and I don't know if he was looking for sympathy and wanting me to say, oh no, you're not, or whatever it was, or if that was just a rare moment of honesty there, but he really is. And it's sad, and at first I thought, when I thought back to everything in the beginning, and I thought back to how much he wanted to stay in contact with me, and how it was, it was easy and it was fun, and it was easy for both of us to just talk to each other like that all day long. And I didn't change who I was at all, but he did. The more I stood my ground and showed him that I had boundaries and that I was like not going to accept his bad behaviors anymore, because of course I would get the typical, the silent treatments, the triangulation, the lying, the manipulating, like all of the textbook narcissistic behaviors. He would display those, and then of course he always had an answer, he always had a story, he always had a way to twist things to try to make me feel like it was me. He's done that about all of his exes, and I guess if you keep pointing the finger in life at everybody else, then I guess you don't ever have to change. The crazy thing is that other people see it. Like, I don't care who you lie to or how many people you lie to or how many lies you tell or whatever. Like, maybe you're gonna fool some people some of the time, but for the most part, people that are around you for any amount of time are going to see who and what you really are. I mean, it's a given, you know, and if you are not good to people, if you go out of your way to hurt people, to constantly just hurt everybody, push everybody away, you know, hurt the people you get closest to, especially in relationships, never have a real friendship because you just use people. People are tools. He told me that one time. I actually have it on video where he told me, you know, people are tools. And haven't I gotten a lot better at, you know, being sociable and talking to people, you know, haven't I gotten better? You know, kind of boasting like, oh, my mask is better now, you know. And he has some of the worst luck that I've ever seen in my life. And I know, like, I feel it like deep within me that it's from all the bad karma because you definitely reap what you sow every time. Every time in life, you reap what you sow. And if you continue to put bad karma out throughout just everywhere throughout your life, you know, pushing people away, hurting people, lying, manipulating, you know, all of that stuff. Um, you may be able to fool some of the people some of the time, but people know. And at the same time, too, the divine knows. You know, God, spirit, the divine, the universe, whatever you want to call, you know, the power, that power, the spiritual power, you know, in your life. Sees everything, you know, it's nothing gets by nothing gets by the divine. And people that continuously hurt others, they get punished. Now, I'm not one to ever wish badly upon anybody. I feel like that is um just not a nice thing to do. Not just not good. You know, but I do hope that people get what they deserve. I'll just put it that way. If you catch my drift. Um, so I guess the main thing that I wanted to make this video for was to tell people that about 3 weeks ago, he had reached out to me with like a half an hour long voice message on WhatsApp. And it was kind of unusual because I barely heard from him because he went from talking to me every day to completely devaluing me to only wanting to deal with me when he felt like it, you know, Jay's way or the highway, as I always said since 2008, you know, that kind of thing. And he was talking about wanting to have a conversation, and there was a lot of stuff that he brought up that I did at first want to talk about. He said a few nice things about me, and then he also said a lot of bad things about me, which it's kind of par for the course with these people. I used to take it personally. I did, but I don't anymore because what I realized when I really thought about it is certain people like that, people that are in their own world mentally, let's put it that way. People that see the world a certain way are only going to see it through the lenses of the way their mind works, through the way they see the world. Everything is going to be discolored. You know, they talk about rose-colored glasses, but this is kind of the opposite of that because everything, you know, he's always very stressed out and talking down about other people because I guess from being envious or whatever, you know, I don't know what it is, but I realized that someone like him is never ever going to see me for me. He's never going to see who I really am. He's never going to be able to love and accept me for who I really am. He's just not. He just doesn't have it in him. You know, I believe that narcissists, they may love in their own way, but I don't think they really understand love. I don't think they understand healthy love. I don't think they understand how to receive or how to give love. And yeah, he's never going to see me for me. He's never going to see me the way people that are part of my soul tribe see me. You know, people that understand me, people that are on team healthy, as one of my YouTubers that I watch about narcissistic personality disorder says. And there's nothing that anyone can do about it. And knowing that, realizing that was actually pretty freeing, you know, because I know that I can sleep at night knowing that I could not have done more. I could not have loved him more. I could not have been a better friend. I was always there for him and he was never there for me. I know that I stayed true to myself, even despite the behavior that I was getting from him, the way that I was being treated. I stayed true to myself. You know, I'm a very loving and giving person. And I have learned to really, in this journey, to really fully love myself and who I am. And when you reach that point, you realize that, you know, these people that keep putting you through stuff over and over again because of the way they are, at a certain point, you got to sit there and think, okay, well, I care about this person, but at the same time, they keep hurting me. So what else can you do? You really can't do anything except let them go. And I don't know if any of you that are struggling with something similar has watched. There is a video, or I think there's a few copies of it, but it's by Medea, Tyler Perry's Medea, and I think it's called Let Them Go. And a good friend of mine shared that with me a few years ago. And it's something that I still keep coming back to because he explains about, you know, the different people in your life. And, you know, never has he thrown anyone away. But, you know, he said, you know, if someone's hurting you and you sit there and you say, hey, you're hurting me, you know, this is going to cause a problem. You need to change that. And they don't change their behavior. He's like, they don't care. Let them go. And it's so true. And for the longest time, I guess me stupidly having the big heart that I do have, the fact that I forgave him anyway and allowed him to come back into my life, and, you know, it just hurt me all over again, but whatever. I took it the second time as a big learning experience. It was an eye-opening learning experience because I realized, oh my gosh, I need to work on me. I need to work on myself, on loving and respecting myself, and not allowing people like this to come into my life and treat me like that because of their own issues, because of them being broken, because of their trauma, their pain, you know, everything else. You can't love somebody enough to heal their trauma. You can't. There's nothing you can do. The only thing you can do is tell them how you feel. You know, explain to them what they're doing. Explain to them that the only way that they will ever be able to start feeling better and doing better is to work on themselves inside, starting with the trauma, starting with what they really don't want to revisit, what they feel like they're not strong enough to revisit. They don't want to be vulnerable. You know, they don't want to open themselves up to that. But it's a shame because I always thought he was better than that. In my heart of hearts, I really thought he was better than that, you know, even from 2008. And I guess I realize now at this point, it was just me holding on to the good parts of him, the parts that I really liked. When he wants to, he can be, charming and funny and sweet and, many good things. But for the most part, he's not. He's angry, he's bitter, he's judgmental, he's dishonest. All the things he admits to not being a good um, boyfriend, friend, husband. I hope he doesn't get married one day. I wouldn't let it last too long. He admits that. Um, so where was I gonna go with this? Sorry. I don't know how to edit yet, so this is, kind of like a whole ramble. So I realized at the end of the day, I realized that I think I'm getting lipstick all over me. I realized that trying to get this guy to act like a decent person wasn't going to work, because if you're morally corrupt, unless you really do some work on yourself, that's just the way you're gonna stay. You know what I mean? If you're morally corrupt, if you're broken, if you're a narcissist, all those things. And I know that there are some that are working on themselves. There are a few narcissists that are going through, their own healing processes that I follow on YouTube that have helped me out a lot as far as understanding the disorder and everything. But yeah, after he sent me that message and I saw how he was still really playing games with me, he didn't want to actually get a hold of me. He's never taken accountability for anything. He has not been there when a good friend of mine died suddenly. He wasn't there the first time I was in the hospital. I was dealing with, over the past few years, I was dealing with some pretty rough health issues that I'm not going to get into on here, but he hasn't been there for me, but yet I was always there for him. And I sat and I thought about all the stuff, and I thought about his attitude and how he just looks at life and thinks of people and everything else. And I realized I don't need to have this person in my life, because keeping someone like that around and hoping that they're going to change, it's a complete waste of your time and energy. It's not worth it, because all they're going to do is hurt you over and over and over again, because that's what makes them feel better about themselves inside. It's really sick. It's really sick. And again, I laugh because I will never understand it. But it's my understanding these people are very, very self-loathing. That's why they're so negative. They cannot find worth or love within themselves. They're always looking for somebody else to give them that validation. People like me. One of the things that he mentioned when he talked about, when he sent that half an hour message a few weeks ago, was my light, and how it was one of the first things that attracted him to me. And that he noticed it, my light. He noticed it in pictures. He noticed it in person, and people that are that way, they're definitely attracted to people like me that are empaths, that are, light workers, light filled beings. And yeah, so I realized I'm not going to deal with it anymore. I've worked on myself enough. I've gotten to a point enough where I'm good where I am. There have been some people that I thought were my friends that have come in and out of my life, and I'm totally okay with it. I'm good with me. I love me. I love who I am. I'm working on myself every day. And at the end of the day, if you can say that, really say that and really be okay with that, people that come and go, it doesn't matter, because there's always going to be more people, there's always going to be more experiences. You know, when you get rid of the bad people out of your life, the bad energy, then, you know, you open the doors for better people with better energy to come in. And I've already started meeting a few of those, and I'm sure I'll be meeting more as the weather, you know, gets warmer, people get outside more, you know, all that stuff. So yeah, it was kind of like, I don't know if you've ever seen the picture of the person. It's like a cartoon drawing, but it's a person, you know, holding a rope tightly. I think I've seen it on Facebook, and I guess someone or something is pulling on the other end, and it's cutting into their hands, and it's making their hand bleed. And then once you decide to just let it go, you know, just drop it, just drop the weight, kind of thing, like dropping weight from your shoulders. When you decide to let it go or cut someone like that out of your life, you know, just block them and just move on, and know that at some point you're just not even going to think about them anymore. It really is a relief once you get to the point of knowing, hey, I'm much better without this person. I'm much healthier without this person. I don't need them to bring me down anymore. I'm not going to allow them to bring me down anymore. And yeah, it's sad when you have to mourn somebody that is still alive. Because honestly, at this point, even though I will talk about him, because there were some parts of my life that he was very impactful in, and I'll never forget that, and I'll always have the fond memories of that. But some people you can't take along with you on your journey. You know, they're only meant to be there for a season. You're only meant to learn things from them. And he was a very, very tough lesson twice. But yeah, at this point, I hate to say it, but honestly, he's pretty much dead to me, because I don't plan on talking to him again, because I feel like it's pointless. Maybe if he ever reached out and had an actual genuine apology, maybe I would listen to it. But that's probably about it. I mean, once you reach a certain level of hurt and betrayal by somebody, especially somebody that you used to love, really love at one point, and genuinely, you know, at a certain point, you're just done. You're just done. Like, just leave me alone. And that's where I am now. And so yeah, I don't plan on speaking to him again. I don't think we will ever travel together again, which is another thing that's kind of sad, because I really did enjoy that. I really did enjoy that. I found out how tough I was on both trips, especially on the one in 2020, because we were, you know, sleeping in the desert and all kinds of places. And it was kind of like survival in a way. I learned a lot about myself. So I'm hoping that maybe this video can help somebody that's on the fence. I want you to realize that you're worth it. You don't deserve to be treated badly by anyone. And also realize that anyone that treats you badly, it's got generally nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. People that treat other people badly, they do it to pretty much everyone. They may come across a certain way in the beginning, but when someone's not genuine, you find out pretty quickly who they really are. So if you have someone like that in your life, and you can make a clean break from them, you know, if you don't have kids with them or anything like that, If you're not related to them, family's a whole other thing. I deal with issues with my family too. Um, protect yourself however you can. Try to limit your time spent or whatever. But yeah, do what you have to do to take care of yourself, because at the end of the day, you need to be there for yourself, and you need to be making good choices that will take you to good places in life. And unfortunately, as some people are, they're just a lesson, is how I look at it now. I don't know. I do, have some tarot readers that I like on YouTube that I watch, and I don't really know what our connection was, but I ended it, and it's like a big weight lifted off my shoulders. I feel like I can breathe a sigh of relief now. I'm not going to get any more shitty messages. I'm not going to get any more games played, mind games, anything like that. And I can just focus on putting all of the love and affection and everything else, putting it towards me, putting it towards my life, putting it towards people that actually deserve it. Because I do have some wonderful people in my life. So yeah, if any of you guys have any words of wisdom, please leave them in the comments. If you want to talk about your story, please leave in the comments as well. Yeah, this has been a pretty personal story, so please keep that in mind. But I hope that it helps somebody. Yeah. Anyway, if you like this video, please go ahead and hit the like button for me. I really appreciate it. If you are new here, I would love to have you subscribe. I definitely have some more videos with Bun Bun that I'm still coming up with. It's been crazy. I've been really, really busy with everything. So yeah, so bear with me, and hopefully you got something out of this video, and I hope you guys had a good Easter for those of you that celebrate the holiday. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.